Man, it's a hot one. Like 7 inches from the midday sun. That's all you can say these days is just how hot it is. It's bad. It's bad. Oh, that's the culprit right there, staring me in the face. The sun, the sun. It's been so hot that Patty has not actually been doing much of gardening. This time of year is when you just have to, I'm doing all I can do to get out here and water my plants. My poor vegetable garden, well, it's about gone. And look at that container right there in this shade area. Y'all remember when I planted that? Well, first of all, you remember we did the fence back there to cover all that storm debris that was piled up back there. And so then I planted this container right here. And I think it has just turned out lovely. Let me move this down a little bit. But those impatiens cannot take the hot, hot afternoon sun. And this corner of the house is under these magnolia trees. So it's shaded pretty much all the time. But there's a pocket of sun that beams over the west side of my house in the afternoon. And before the ice storm, this was more shaded because there were lots of branches, trees and tree limbs that shaded this area. But in that winter storm that we had back in January, we lost a lot of those trees on that west side over there and a lot of limbs. And so we have, you know, a pretty decent pocket of afternoon sun that comes in here. And these poor impatiens, they're sad right now, but they'll perk up and look better in the morning. But I water this container at least every other day right now while it's so hot. But I wanted to show y'all these elephant ears. Oh my gosh. Is that not beautiful? I absolutely love an elephant ear. And I used to not like them at all, but I am so appreciative of them. Look at this. I'm just gonna throw that hose down and let it soak some ground. Look at this. Look how big that is. There's my hand. There's my face. It's actually bigger than my ears. I have pretty big ears, and it's actually bigger than my ear. Hard to believe. But I am loving this. And look, when I put these elephant ear bulbs in this planter, they were just bulbs. Oh, I had one that was kind of big, and the others were small bulbs. And I put them in here in the spring, and look what they have done. Let me get you in there closer. They're kind of droopy right now because it's the end of the day, and it's like, I don't know, 6:15, 6:20, and it's just been so hot today. But in the morning, they'll be, you know, standing a little more upright. And just look at all of them. And then look at the caladiums. They're a bright pop of happy color. They're loving this weather. It was like 94 degrees today. I'm in zone 8A, Mississippi. And it was like 94 degrees today. And the humidity was out the roof. We can't do anything but sweat and try to get in the air conditioner around here. Those caladiums pretty. I have to kind of keep these sprayed because the deer do like to nibble on these caladiums and the impatiens. So I need to spray this afternoon while I'm out after I finish watering. But it's kind of too hot to even be out here doing anything for an old lady like me. I'm 53. I'm just kidding. I mean, I am 53, and I could either get up really, really early and do it before I go to work, or put my headlamp on, my nightlight headlamp on, and come out here and do it in the evenings. But you know, if you wear a lamp on your head at night, bugs get all up in your business, all up in your face and in your mouth, until you can't hardly even get anything accomplished. But I have not done anything to this bed right here. It's just ferns, and that's liripe, and this is carex. More ferns. That's a nandina back there. Dr. Taylor gave me that. He's a friend of ours. And these ferns have been here forever. And this Akuba, I transplanted it from the front. The deer had eaten that down to the front, so I moved it back here. That's cast iron plant that I got from a friend. But everything just needs some water. Oh, I see a deer has found that hosta back here. Oh, Lord. Gonna have to spray for sure. But look at Crystal Gale. Crystal Gale 1. She looks good. She never has a bad hair day. Her hair looks good all the time. Just splendid. You know, I complain about the heat and how hot it is, and it is. It is hot and it's humid and it's... But let me tell you, my twins, Mathis and Noah, they work for a landscape company, and they cut grass and weed eat all day long, 5 days a week, in the hot, hot sun. I mean, I know they're young. They're 21 and way more capable than I am. They're healthy, strong young men. But my gosh, I do feel sorry for them. All of the people who have to work outside in this heat. I'm like, y'all, take plenty of water breaks. Take it easy. You know. Landscapes don't matter that much. You really want to know the truth about it. I mean, just like standing right here in the shade, watering. Look at my face. It's a sweat pool. Sweat. I know y'all wanted to know that. Y'all were wanting to see my sweat stash. But look, y'all, since I'm not doing a whole lot of gardening right now, I'm making plans. Plans for cooler weather when it gets cooler. And I'm going to show y'all what I have planned. I think it's going to be very beautiful one day. Not this day, but one day it'll be really beautiful and something for me to be really proud of if I can make it come to fruition. So hold on a second. I got to water this one over here. Look at this container. And that one turned out pretty. It's right here on the corner of that fence screen that we built. And it is a palm and a macho fern and impatiens and caladiums. And it's really, I enjoy looking at this when I look out my kitchen window in the morning when I'm drinking my coffee, or anytime I'm in there washing dishes, cooking, whatever. Danny and I had to go to Lowe's today. The nearest Lowe's is about an hour and 15 minutes away. So we went to that Lowe's because our dryer quit. We had to buy a new dryer. So I went to Lowe's to get a new dryer. And of course, I looked around in the garden center. And let me just tell you what. I'm so jealous of Steph from Hooked and Rooted, because she goes to Lowe's or Home Depot, like, I don't know, once a month, twice a month or something like that, and shows what the stock that they have in. And let me tell you, what they have in the Northeast is beautiful. Those Lowe's have a beautiful stock of plants, perennials, trees, shrubs, everything. The Lowe's around here, not so much. Nothing really that I was just thinking that I had to have. But I did get some salvia off of the clearance. section. It had been $8 and I got them for $4. So maybe if I can find a time when it's not 98 degrees outside, I'll plant them. But it ain't gonna be today. And I was gonna do a video, but then I was like, this stuff isn't looking nice enough. It's not cute enough. It would be boring. I mean, I was bored with it. And I know that y'all would be bored with it too. So anyway, we came on home. Danny got the dryer hooked up. Thank goodness. And I was just out here watering my stuff. I said, well, you know, I think I'm going to share with y'all what I have planned to do for the fall. Okay, back, I don't know, I guess it was about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, there's a nursery close to where I live. He's probably about 45 minutes away in Ware, Mississippi. Where did you say? Ware, Mississippi. W-E-I-R, Mississippi. And they pronounce it Ware. Maybe it should be Weir. I don't know. But around here we pronounce it Ware. And he has a nursery, and it's called Dry Bottom Farms. Anyway, he propagated some Limelights and sold these. See how big that is? These were $8 a piece when I bought them. And so I think these are really, really pretty. And my Limelights over there have done so well until I just want to make Limelight borders all around my property. I told y'all that I'm living on the edge of a jungle, and which is true. And there's just lots of old privet hedge and wisteria and honeysuckle and just stuff that just wants to curl up all around us and just take us over. And it's just too much for me to handle. So I'm just going to let the wild be wild back there. But I'm going to have a nice little border around what I'm going to call my garden space, my gardening space. And I'll keep the wild cut back off of my border. But I'm going to put these Limelight hydrangeas all along my border. And I asked ChatGPT to do me a little mock-up of what it would look like. And it is going to be so... I'm talking to my gardening friends. I'm making a video. I know that looks weird. I'm just out here talking to myself. I'm talking to all my gardening buddies. Oh, just all y'all gardening buddies. But Diane and I started our YouTube channels right about the same time, 2 years. June the 9th, 2 years ago. So it was June the 9th, 2024 when I posted my first YouTube video. And y'all, I went back and watched the very first video that I ever made, but I was too chicken to post it at that time, but I posted it later. And I watched that last night, and I'm so glad I did that because I have really enjoyed making YouTube videos about gardening or touring homes or cooking or whatever I'm doing. Not only is it fun for me as a creative outlet, but it's also... And I used to do this on Facebook. I would post all my pictures of my kids and stuff on Facebook because that would be, you know, I'd probably lose those pictures in my phone if I didn't put them somewhere. So I'd put them on Facebook. That would be like my time capsule of that time frame. Well, my YouTube channel is kind of like my time capsule. It's my memories of what my garden is looking like and of what all I'm doing and how much fun I'm having while doing it. Okay, but these are the Limelight hydrangeas. Okay, so I have 5 of these right now. I paid $8 a piece, and I got 5 of them. But the same guy at the same nursery is propagating more, even as we speak. And he's doing a pre-order, and they're going to be in probably smaller containers than that when we pick them up in the fall. But they'll be all rooted in, but they'll be small. But he's selling those for $6. I think it's a 6-inch can is what he said, or a 6-inch cup. So $6. So I've already ordered the maximum amount that you could get, and it might have been 10. I can't remember. I think that's what it was. But I'm going to order some more. And let me show y'all where I'm going to put them. I am going to put them here. in front of all that jungly mess. Danny and I came out here and we tried to cut some of this hedge back. Because and I know that the people who initially planted this hedge, that this is what they did. I'll have to give y'all a history of my house one day because it is pretty interesting. But look, I trimmed this hedge back, and look, it could look like a boxwood hedge. I mean, it's pretty if you can control it, but it grows so fast. And, you know, this is the same thing. It's, you know, a tree form, and they're everywhere. They're all back up in there. They're just invasive, really. And see, that's wisteria growing up into that tree. And if it hadn't killed it yet, it probably will kill it. That was wisteria growing all up in that tree, and it's about to kill over. It's just bad stuff, y'all. But I have a forsythia right there. I dug that up from my mom's yard and put it right there. Oh, and here's another hedge. We cut this, privet. We cut that back, and see, it's coming back out. So if we could just keep all of it in a nice hedge like that, that would be a good stopping point for us to know, okay, this is where our yard stops, and then the jungle takes over back there. So in front of all that, I want to put some limelights. I think I could probably do, I don't know, probably 4, because they get big. And then I want to put some, I just want to border my whole yard. Probably not in that shade garden so much because I don't think it would get enough sun right there. But all of that, I want it to be Limelight hydrangeas. These are the ones that kind of got me hooked. So I just want to continue this bed throughout the yard right there. Limelight hydrangeas. Then walking up here, I think that this begonia is so pretty. It has just grown and it has really outdone itself. I recommend it. Okay, so I want to do more limelights. Look, this is a little lime punch. I moved it from a difficult spot and put it right here, and this is the best it's ever looked. And I mean, it looks kind of naked on the bottom, and the leaves are already kind of a pink color. Now it won't be that tropical punch color like maybe they might get in other places because it's too hot and humid here. This is a little lime hydrangea that I moved from right there behind the swing. I moved it from there to right here, and it has just absolutely shown out. It is looking so good. That was a good thing that I did that day. Has so many blooms. It only had like 1 or 2 blooms ever. Well, it just didn't get enough sun back there. But I want to put limelights all throughout there to the other side of that stump. And I would like to put some, maybe on this retaining wall right here. And I think that would just be gorgeous. I don't know how many limelights I'll need, but I'm going to buy as many as he'll let me have. Now, they'll be small, you know, when I get them, but they'll grow in time, and you know, we'll fill out. And that's just one way that I can do this with my budget, because I can't pay, you know, even $25 for a 2 or 3 gallon limelight and buy as many as I need. So maybe, you know, I'll get a few bigger ones and scatter them here and there, but for the majority, it's going to be smaller ones like that. getting the Limelights in a smaller size, of course, it'll be easier to dig the holes. The holes won't have to be as big. And the roots will not have so much top growth to have to try to tend to. So the roots can work more toward getting the plant established, which hopefully if I get them in the ground this fall, I'm crossing my fingers we won't have a ice storm like we did last year and have just freezing cold weather for a long, long time. And then hopefully in the spring, the roots will have a good start and they'll be able to take off and start growing like crazy. That's my hope. That's my hope and my dream. And you never know, I might just buy a few big ones to mix in with them so I can have some more blooms for sure. But one thing that I'll have to remember is to spray them, especially like as they're putting on new growth, because the deer do kind of browse the new growth. But you know, I don't think that they are as wild about the Limelights and little limes as they are like the macrophylla hydrangeas. They really will do a number on those. But yeah, and those bloom on old wood, so I hadn't had a bloom on any of my macrophylla hydrangeas in years. It's wild, I know. It's crazy. I don't know why I keep buying them. Just nuts, I guess. So that's what I plan to do with the hydrangeas all along my property border there. And I might even put some elephant ears in the mix. And probably some grasses. Let me show you these grasses. I love this kind of grass right here. And I cannot remember the name of it. But you see it has that variegation, that white strip down the middle, and it has these plumes of little grass heads that are really cute. And I can get those for cheap because my mama has 3 huge clumps of this in her yard. And that's where the few clumps that I do have, that's where these came from. It's from her yard. So I'm going to dig some of these up from her yard in probably January or February and put them in my yard, just all around. And so my border will be the grasses, which will be free, the Limelight hydrangeas, which will be the most cost-effective way that I could get them, which will be $6 a piece. So I'm gonna get a bunch of them, and maybe some elephant ears, and who knows what else. And see, every bit of this stuff will come back. That's another thing that I've been thinking about is, you know, as it's getting hotter and hotter and I'm getting older and older and I'm 53, I'm thinking 10 years from now when I'm 63, am I going to want to be out here toiling with this soil and water hose every day of my retirement? I don't know. I probably will want to do it, but anyway, I'm just thinking about things that I can plant that will thrive and will make it easier for me. And then if I want to plant some annuals somewhere, I can. It's not like I'm just, you know, burdened with what I've already done to myself with these plants. Let me show y'all this. Do y'all remember when I planted this container? It is filled in and looks good. It has the impatiens, and you know, I started these from seed. I'm pretty sure I did. It has the caladiums. Look at how beautiful that is. I love them. I will grow caladiums from now on. If I can remember to get these out of the container, I can save the corms and maybe use them next year. I said I was going to do that last year, and I never got around to getting them out of the pots. And this palm, if I had a greenhouse, I could put the palm in the greenhouse, but I don't have a greenhouse, so. And it's right here under this magnolia tree, and I don't know if y'all know it, but magnolia trees are constantly shedding their leaves and constantly growing new ones. So we have just a plethora of dead magnolia leaves. I mean, it's just a mulch and a ground cover for me now. You know, there's nothing I can do about it because I'm not getting rid of the magnolia tree because I love it. So we just have leaves on the ground, but that's okay too. This vinca vine, like I said, it's all over this property, and I figured, well, I can't beat it, so I'm just gonna join it. And I put it in some pots, let it be the spiller. But I love gardening. I love being out here in my yard. I love watching y'all's videos. I just love anything about plants and outside and yards and old houses and stuff like that. I think that's just so much fun. With a limited budget, I can't do everything that I dream of. So I've had to, bring my dreams into reality and check them and say, look, girl, you're going to have to realize we don't have a big budget for all these plants that you think you need. So I'm checking myself before I wreck myself, and I'm getting what will be more affordable. It'll be smaller to start with, but it'll be doable. And I think in a couple of years, I think it'll be really, really pretty. So y'all follow along, and let's see if I get this done in the fall. I'm going to have to ask Danny to help me, and I know he is just chomping at the bits, ready to help me dig these holes and get all these plants in the ground. I'm just kidding. He will do it. He will do it, and he thinks it'll be pretty. He likes looking at a pretty yard too. Oh yeah, look, another thing. Our grass has gotten kind of tall because our lawnmower broke. It is always something. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Well, first it was the lawnmower, and then it was the dryer. And I said, well, a dryer is more important than a lawnmower at this time. We can go borrow my sister Susanna's lawnmower to cut the grass a time or two. So anyway, but it's really pretty and green. Doesn't look too bad on camera. It's a little high in some spaces. But I digress. What I was trying to say is, y'all subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. That way you'll be notified when I have a video coming out. And you can follow along this gardening journey with me. I have some other things that I want to do too, but I just can't talk about those yet. So stay tuned, and we'll find out in the future what in the heck I even mean. See y'all later. Bye. I just finished spraying everything with the deer deterrent. And I wanted to come back and show y'all the elephant ears when they're perked up after the sun has gone down behind the house, and they're watered well, and look how pretty. And I used to not be a fan of elephant ears, and I do not know why. And they're so easy, and the deer don't eat them, knock on wood. So y'all go get you some elephant ears. And they come back. I'm in 8A, Mississippi, and they come back for me every year. I might cover this place up with elephant ears.